That's right. Now, everything we've been doing up until this point in this quest has been building up to this moment, the moment where you're going to have an extraordinary experience, a peak experience like none other. So if you ever done anything like psychedelics before, like mushrooms, many people who do this session report like this is like doing a full-blown mushroom trip. Others experience it's like going into an ayahuasca experience, but without any of the horrible, weird stuff that can happen and the bad trips that can happen from doing psychedelics. So whatever it is that's your psychedelic of choice, you may find that this one actually is something that becomes more memorable and more powerful than any of those previous experiences. This is the kind of feedback we've received over and over again. In fact, one of our Mind Valley authors, Ben Greenfield, he says that this particular session changed his life completely. In fact, he created a whole new sense of purpose and meaning for his life as a peak performance biohacker who likes to dabble in all these kinds of amazing practices. He found that this one was the one that really changed his mindset about what is really important to him. And he started to feel that community was more important, friendship was more important, family and spending time with loved ones and doing time that is more creative was more important to him compared to spending hours and hours down the gym trying to look like a bodybuilding champion. He realized that the simple things in life, love, connection, were more important than all of those things. So he had a complete ego disillusion. This is something that people say after the session, is that they go away feeling like they're a whole new person. And this is what scientists have shown with our technique, is that it really quietens down the activity of the ego mind and creates this peak gamma brainwave state, which allows you to tap into something higher than yourself and to see yourself with a new light. Now, I don't want to give you too many expectations before you try this session, but I want you to actually keep practicing this beyond this quest. You can always go back to this. It doesn't mean you only do this once and never again. You can go back to this. You can go back to any of the techniques that have been in this quest and do them over and over again and create your own routine out of them. But this one in particular is a very powerful session. So you don't want to repeat this every single day. You can do this like once a week or once a month, and you can even make it into a ceremony. You can actually do this with a powerful intention to go super deep and to create and cultivate the peace of mind that you've been wanting to create. So that's the thing that Ben Greenfield told me, was that actually he is known for being an expert in longevity and biohacking, but he realized that this also gave him a peace of mind. And that's what we want. We want to cultivate a peace of mind, because through peace, we can actually be in control of our life much more and be able to accept all of the things, the stresses that life throws at us, and not get so aggravated by them and so triggered by them. When we can let go of some of these triggers and aggravations, and when we can accept ourselves and the world as it is more, and this is a regular practice that you need to do. Even I struggle with this sometimes, but by doing practices like this, you can get more in touch with yourself, realize more about who you truly are, and make the right decisions for yourself in alignment with your truth. Because your truth comes from tapping into the inner layer of your being, not the many layers of conditioning that have built up over the years of your existence from an early age, where all of these imprints form that creates your identity. With one single session like this, you can peel away all those layers and let go of things like hate and grudges from the past. Let go of attachment to old stuck emotions and resolve all traumas and emotional blocks that have been holding you back, and circulate this life force energy, this energy of creativity, of the ability to create magic in your life. You can circulate this, wake this up, and actually embody it with this one practice. And this then becomes a celebration of life, your existence, and all the things that exist in this experience of being alive on this planet today. So some points to bear in mind for this session. As it's an hour long, you're going to be doing more intense breath work. You may get even more of these tingling, cramping sensations and pain developing. But just breathe through that resistance. Don't worry. If at some point where it gets too much, if you really feel you need to stop, it's okay. But you can carry on doing the session again the next day, following day, and start to repeat this until you get through the whole session with ease. That's when the real magic happens. All right. So you're also going to wake up a lot of this life force energy. And this activation also, as you're sending this energy up to the third eye, to the pineal gland, is going to create a deep activation of the third eye or the pineal gland, which will release a flood of this Somadi down into your heart. Now here, we may activate some special powers of the mind, deep intuitive powers of the mind, because our brain is like a layered brain, 3 different layers. So in the core of the brain is the reptilian brain. In the reptilian brain, we have actually a lot in common with reptiles and birds in nature. This deals with our sense of awareness in the world. And, reptiles and birds, they have like a sixth sense ability. They can spot danger miles away. They can see the back of their heads. They have this intuitive power. In fact, reptiles can control the autonomic nervous system. And you may actually wake up these dormant abilities, because what happens is when you get layers of brain forming, we exercise out this intuition that we have as children, this creative imagination, because of the education system, because of this left brain culture we're in, working in very robotized careers and professions. So when we tap back into the core part of our brain, the brainstem, the reptilian brain, and we wake this up, that's why we call this the awakening, we can have a full-blown Somadi awakening experience, which awakens us to our deeper intuitive powers. Now, this might not happen for everybody. For some people, this will be very effortless. Others, it may take time to develop. But some of the things you may look out for are very deep levels of intuition, where you can really feel empathically how someone's feeling and know what's the right thing for them to do. You'll be able to also sense danger in a room much more easily. So you'll have like a radar for what to look out for if you want to stay in your high vibration and not get taken into the wrong path. You'll also have a deeper understanding of yourself and the things that are good for you and what are not good for you. You'll also start to feel like you're bending reality. Vishen loves to talk about bending reality and creating the reality according to you, your truth. Well, this is a technique that can accelerate that even more. And when you go deep into this practice, you can actually use it as a magical tool, because you can start to use visualization techniques to literally bend reality, create the life that you want by projecting like a movie in your mind's eye, exactly what it is you want to call in and making it real as though it's happening right now. So you can use this magic for self-healing. You can use it for manifesting the things you want in your life and even attracting people into your life. I've done it for attracting the kind of people I want in my life, and it's worked like magic. And they say your vibe attracts your tribe. Well, trust me, when you raise your vibe through this technique, magic really happens. You start to call in some amazing, incredible people into your life. And this is the community of high vibe, high and happy people that I want to create, where we spread this like a butterfly effect across the world, where we make this world a more happier, healthier, and more peaceful place for all. So, your practice for today is going to be, once again, measuring your breath hold time, first thing in the morning, and making this a regular daily task for the rest of your life. And then you're going to do your reduced breathing exercises, anaerobic exercises, and you can now create that sequence that is going to be right for you to be able to go deep into this next session. So check out the audio we have for you today. You're going to need to set aside at least an hour to do this one audio track. So it's longer than the previous sessions. And you want to have no distractions. You need to allow yourself to go super deep and fully into this experience with absolute surrender, with no expectation of what it's going to bring to you. Through that state of no attachment, that's when the divine downloads come. That's when the big aha moments and the moments of deep inspiration can spring forth. So again, write down the ideas, thoughts, and visions and dreams that come forth from this one experience and pay attention to them because they are important. All right. So much love, positive energy. I want to see you in the state of ecstasy. Much love. Peace.